So, how's everybody doing tonight? Eating well? Sleeping well? Yeah. Is that you? Yeah. Me neither. So, yeah, I'm always, staying up late, thinking about my past. We always do really weird things in our past, and you never think they're gonna come back and bite you and where, but they always do. And it's never the things that you want it to be. It's never the, oh, remember that one time I saved that dog from Santa's sleigh in the Christmas parade? No! It's always, hey, do you remember that one time you drank out of a puddle over there? Yeah, okay, so background on that. When I was younger, really younger, so 3 or 4, I liked to pretend I was a puppy. Like a lot. And it is perfectly reasonable for a puppy to be drinking from the ground. But it is not perfectly reasonable for a human acting like a puppy to be drinking. So it's okay when you're just in the comfort of your family judging you harshly. When you go out into the real world, it becomes a problem. So I was at a Royals game with my family and work friends of my father's. And I was drinking out of a puddle on the ground because I was in one of those puppy moods. And it would have gone over totally fine had my dad not yelled at me, "Stop drinking out of the puddle!" And some of his coworkers remember me by that moment. You know how I know that? I was working at Harvesters last weekend. Yeah, Harvesters. The nice innocent place where you pack boxes. Yeah, well, we were doing that with a couple of family friends, and I was thinking, oh, packing boxes, this is great fun. But then I look around and realize I don't know anybody here. So, obviously, the nice child of all the parents were like, hello, I'm Elizabeth. Nice to meet you. And they're like, oh, Elizabeth, you're the one who drank out of the puddles. I'm like, gosh darn it! And just left. Yeah, I always have things like that following me around. Puppy. Yeah. So, I went to the bank the other day, and I asked the teller, could you check my balance? And so she pushed me over. So 3 cats are swimming across the English Channel. There's an American cat named 123 Cat, a French cat named un 3 Cat, and a Spanish cat named 1 2 3 Cat. So all the cats start the race pretty fine, but one of the cats does not make it across. Does anybody know which cat is that?
Spanish one.
No. It was the French cat. Because un 2 cat sank. Well, my French people get that. I like jokes. Can you tell? So, animals are crazy, right? I'm all good with animals, but sometimes they just get in the way. Like one time, insects just bothered me. Like, let's do a background. Insects just bother me sometimes, like especially spiders. And in my house, I live in a lake, so there are a ton of spiders up there. And so I was eating cookie dough, at midnight, because that's what teenagers do. And there was I was with my sister, Kate, hello, and she does not like spiders either. And so we were just, chilling out, minding our own business, and there's a spider crawling across the floor. So, the typical teenage girl thing is to jump up on the sofa and scream, kill it, kill it. So that's what Kate did. So I went and found my dad's shoe, because, it's the biggest one, and it's the closest one, and I'm just like, ugh. But what we didn't realize what it was our mother. So all of little prance you do when you don't know what to do next, and you do like. So I decided to, I had thought, you know, chemicals can kill animals, right? That's a thing. So but a bottle of Pledge, dusting stuff, sitting out. So I just went all over our hardwood floors. And, you know, waited until they were all gone, and then, you know, like the inexperienced housekeeper I am, cleaned it up with soap and water and went to bed. And woke up to a thump the next morning. And like the silly child I am, I went running downstairs to see what was the matter. And promptly fell on my butt. Because the thing about Pledge is it's not designed to come off with water or soap or any sort of cleaning supplies, really. It stayed on our hardwood floors no matter what we did. And it stayed there, and we slipped and fell every time we went to the kitchen for the next 6 months. Yeah, I'm not the housewife here. But, you know, there's always just problems that I have. I always seem to just attract problems. I kind of used to think it was like a supernatural ability I had. Just to be able to, like, trouble, and it just, this way. You know, I've always, like, supernatural things have always kind of piqued my interest, because when I was younger, I used to always think schools were haunted, because people would always talk about the school spirit. I'm like, oh, Casper! Why are we not on the media about this? It was the school spirit. Ghosts have never been my forte, really. But you know, one time, in 8th grade, I thought my TV was haunted by Satan. It's a real thing. Yeah. So, if most of you know me, I'm not a scary movie person at all. I love movies, but I cry a lot. I'm very emotional, and yeah, you laugh. I cried at National Treasure 2 in the bed. Tears. He's such a good actor! So I can't really do scary movies. But I have a friend who is a huge scary movie buff, so she's like, just try them on. It's like, I don't really think that would be a good idea. She's like, it'll be okay. You know, so I gave in to peer pressure, like the tiny little anxious teenager I am. So we decided to watch The Bride of Chucky on my VHS player at around midnight. Because you know all the best stories happen around midnight. So there we are, and I'm one of those people that I can't really stop watching a scary movie or else I won't be able to sleep for the next week. So here I am, 3 a.m. watching the end of The Bride of Chucky, and spoiler alert, Chucky's pregnant wife dies. And there they are, like, trying to clean up this creepy doll body, and she shoots out the spawn of Satan! Like, she's dead! She is dead! That should not happen! And it was terrifying, and the more terrifying part was it just grabbed this police officer's face! Like, it is this tiny little Satan doll thing grabbing on this man's face. And I'm like, ah, you know, curled up in a blanket just watching this, and the camera pans to the little devil baby face, and it just goes to static. And then my TV just decided to turn off. So I was just like, no. No. Because what I didn't know was my VHS player is quite old, because you know those things are ancient, and it started eating the tape. So the automatic response is for it to shut off before it, you know, ruins your VHS player. So I just thought, you know, oh, Satan's in my TV. And I couldn't even freak out properly because everyone's asleep. So I'm just, darkness can't find me. He cannot when I'm under a blanket. And I stayed that way until morning. That is how scared I was. Yeah, I'm not really good with scary things. Scary things are my quote, unquote. So I'm gonna go to a happier mood. Do you like jokes? Because I like jokes. So I'm gonna keep going with my quote unquote foreign theme. So there's this Mexican magician.
Oh, God.
I heard that. And so he says to his crowd that he's going to end his act by disappearing on the count of 3. Oh, look, another counting joke. So they all decide to count together. So they all go, 1, 2, poof. He vanishes. Disappeared without a trace. I know that wasn't going on. So, okay, there's another one, I promise. So, a woman gives birth to 2 twins, but she can't keep them. I know. And so she gives them up for adoption. So one of the boys goes to an Egyptian couple, and they name him Amal. And the other boy goes to Spain, and he's adopted by a Spanish couple, and they name him Juan. So 20 years pass, and the woman receives a picture in the mail, and it's of Juan. He had tracked her down, and he wanted to show her what he looked like after 20 years. And she was in tears, because she loved how her baby had grown up. So she goes to her husband, and she says, oh, I wish I could see my other baby boy, and so I know what both of them look like right now. He says, oh, you know, that's okay. If you've seen Juan, you've seen them all. Thank you.